Good evening, channel. It is me, at Saint Idol. Welcome back to my channel for more music fun. Um, Today I'd like to show you guys some of my favorites out of my record collection. And it is quite an extensive collection, so I'm only going to show you a few. To start, and this is in no particular order, to start I've got American Beauty. Now, American Beauty was a real game changer for the Grateful Dead. They went from being, hippies. I mean, they were still hippies. They've always been hippies. They never stopped being hippies. But they went from being like psychedelic to Americana. Um, and this album has a lot of great songs on it. Box of Rain, that's Phil Lesh. That's a great song. Um, Sugar Magnolia, Candyman, Operator, Broke Down Palace. That's like the number one song the Deadheads went and played at their funeral. And I'm not even joking about that. Truckin', of course. But that's a really good album. That's one of my favorites. Next one. Again, in no particular order. This is Queen, A Night at the Opera. This was also a game changer in Queen's music and in the music industry in general. This is an older edition too. That last one was a newer edition. And if you look at the center of this one, it's got all the lyrics. It's got all their pictures down there. It's pretty cool. This came out in 1975, so they're looking pretty 70s there. But of course, it had Bohemian Rhapsody on it. Yeah, we all know that. It also had a song called Love of My Life on it, which was bigger in England than it was in the States. And the audience members would sing it back to him, would sing the chorus with him. And that started a big trend in Freddie Mercury's performance style, having the audience sing along with him, which was huge if you ever watch any later Queen live performances, which you will at some point because everybody does. All right, next. Nirvana Unplugged in New York. This is a newer edition. And it does have some of the greatest Nirvana recordings ever recorded. It's got the acoustic version of Come As You Are, which is a classic now. Dumb, Polly, Penny Royalty. Penny Royalty on this album is amazing. And there's a lot of covers too. Lake of Fire, Where Did You Sleep Last Night? Plateau, Omi. A lot of them were by the Meat Puppets, who he was a big fan of. And On a Plane is my favorite. On a Plane is my favorite acoustic version of any song they did on this album. So I would definitely recommend giving this album a couple spins. See what we got next. This is Simon & Garfunkel, The Sounds of Silence. Now, this is interesting because the album is called The Sounds, plural, of Silence, while the song is called The Sound of Silence. So you gotta get that straight. This is an older edition. It's not the original pressing or anything, but it's from the 70s, I'd say. And the reason I like this song is because there's not a single song of this album is because there's not a single song on this album that I don't like. I Am a Rock, Leaves That Are Green, Richard Cory, A Most Peculiar Man. They're all great songs. There's not a single song on this album that I skip. So I definitely recommend giving this album several spins and seeing how much the songs grow on you. Excuse me. Also, the way they're walking away and looking back is so deep. I love it. Okay, next we have Mamas and the Papas, If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears. The reason I like this album is not so much because of the songs on it. And I do like the songs, Monday, Monday, California Dreamin', they're hits, they're classics. What I like about this is that the original pressing had a toilet on it, and this is the second edition that they released where they tried to cover up the toilet with the songs, the hit songs that were on the album. Eventually this became the cover, just them in the tub. And in the third album, or the third edition after this, there was just like a big black thing over the toilet here. So I like this because it's an early edition where some of the toilet is showing. Why was a toilet so big in the 70s? I don't know why it was such a big deal, but it was. But they could not release that. They did, and they got a lot of crap for it, so they released several other editions, and I happen to have an early one right here, so that's great. Switching gears a little bit here. Rhapsody in Blue and American in Paris by Gershwin, conducted by Leonard Bernstein. Here's the thing, Gershwin is probably my favorite composer, and Leonard Bernstein is probably my favorite conductor. I did go to school for classical music. Classical music holds a special place in my heart, and it'll always be that way. So, I really do like this. This is, I'd say, 1980s, probably this pressing is. On the back, you see Gershwin there. Gershwin died pretty early, unfortunately. Bernstein was around a little longer. But these two, we're going to get to this, but I have an obsession with the Beach Boys. And these two songs, Rhapsody in Blue and American in Paris, especially Rhapsody in Blue, and Gershwin in general, inspired Brian Wilson more than any other composer. So I really appreciate Gershwin. Next we have Invisible Touch, and the reason this holds a special place in my heart is because we did Invisible Touch, the song, as a marching band piece in college. And I like the album. I like that it's not as weird as the Peter Gabriel days, but it's weird enough that it's Phil Collins. He's still pretty weird. This is an original recording. I don't think it's original repressing, but it's an older edition. I'd say it came out, late 80s. And I really like the artwork on it. Like, it's cool. It's just like a hand. Why? Who cares? That's cool. All right, what do we got next? Weezer, Pinkerton. Now, this is definitely a reproduction. I bought this just a few years ago. The reason I like this album so much is because it's, Rivers Cuomo really ended up hating it. And they don't play any songs from it anymore, but it's got some of the best songs that, they've ever recorded on it. It's basically an album for people who are in emotional turmoil or just want to feel deeply. Some songs, No Other One, Why Bother, Across the Sea, The Good Life, Pink Triangle, they're all depressing as hell, but they're also all very uplifting in their own way. And the music especially, because there's something in Rivers' voice that's always just pleasant. I don't know. So I really like this album. The artwork is inspired by Madame Butterfly. The whole album is inspired by Madame Butterfly. In fact, Pinkerton is a character from Madame Butterfly. They actually got sued for copyright infringement because Pinkerton is a private investigation, whatever, and they were big during World War II, but they're still around. But no, Pinkerton is from Madame Butterfly. The artwork is clearly from Madame Butterfly, so whatever. Next we have Californication. Californication is my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers album. Besides maybe By the Way, and I might talk about that one, we'll see. But it's very bluesy, but it's also very pop oriented. Songs such as, Around the World, that's very funky. Parallel Universe, that's very new agey, kind of futuristic. Scar Tissue, Other Side, Californication, Easily. Those are all like almost like they were going soft on us. And it's great to hear. It's great to hear that they had a folk side to them, they had a soft side to them. And I really enjoy this album because of the eclectic nature of the songs. They had, Road Tripping at the end, that's very folk. Um, Get on Top, that's very bluesy, very funky. Um, Savior is very, I don't even know how you would explain it. It's almost like it belonged on a later album to me. But again, this is my favorite Chili Peppers album. This is a newer edition. This isn't an old 90s edition, sorry to say. So this is an original pressing of Smiley Smile. And I'm going to drop some music history here on you. After Pet Sounds, which is the Beach Boys' masterpiece, they were going to release Smile, which was supposed to be a great follow-up to Pet Sounds. However, Brian Wilson went crazy. Mike Love didn't like it. Too many drugs involved. There was a track on there that scared Brian. It's a very long story for another day. But anyway, they came out with Smiley Smile instead. And this is an original 1967 pressing of it. And the back is very sparse. And if you look closely here, where is it? You got the Beach Boys fan club information. You can barely read it, but it's there. I swear to God. And this one I will probably never sell, even though it's valuable, because it's the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys. I love this. I don't love Smiley Smile. It's not my favorite album. It's not anyone's favorite album. But I like that this is original, and I like the story behind it. While we're talking about the Beach Boys, here's Pet Sounds. This came before Smiley Smile. And I like this edition because it's nice and colorful. It's translucent. This is a newer limited edition that I bought. And this album, I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on it because I can't do it justice by explaining it. You just need to go and spin it as many times as you can before you get sick of it. And you may never get sick of it because it's amazing. So definitely go listen to Pet Sounds. Okay. 21st Century Breakdown by Green Day. This is an excellent album, and it may even be better than its predecessor, American Idiot. And I say that because the answer to Jesus of Suburbia on the song is 21st Century Breakdown, and I like it better than Jesus of Suburbia. And there's also just such great ballads on here. 21 Guns, that's a great ballad. Some really nice, rockers. East Jesus Nowhere. East Jesus Nowhere is like, you could really rock out to that song. And I definitely recommend taking this for a spin. Again, 21st Century Breakdown, it came out in 2009. So this is actually a original, but we're talking 2009. So yeah. Like I said, I think it's better than American Idiot. Here's the back. Christian and Gloria are the main characters. On American Idiot, it was Jesus and what's her name? What's her name didn't have a name. She was just what's her name? And the last one I wanted to show you was my cool edition of Good Vibrations. This one I'll never sell just because it's cool. I will play all these. I have played all these. But this is the original Good Vibrations, the way it came out back in the 60s when it came out as a single. And it also comes with, where is it? The original cover of the Japanese version with a typo on it that says Good Vibration. You can't see it very well, but Good Vibration, yeah. So it's an infamous typo, and this edition comes with it, which is cool. It's a collector's item. So those are just a that's just a very small amount of my records. I have a ton more. I may do another video of records I didn't discuss. We'll see. I really like to collect records just because they're a tangible unit of the music that I love. So I collect them like you wouldn't believe. I go to record shops all the time, old record shops. I order them online. I may have a problem, but that's besides the point. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video of my favorite records, some of my favorite records, and hopefully you learned some stuff as well. And if not, drop me some comments, and I will answer any questions you have. And definitely hit the subscribe button for more music and for more music talk. And you have a great night, guys. Bye.